doing some of my research here, I didn't realise, and I'm actually quite upset really, that you're a Boston fan.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. I loved them back in the Pistol days. I just couldn't tell anybody.
You couldn't. I mean, one of the most depressing moments of my life was after you changed my life, and then in early '78, going down a street near Granada, I saw Strummer walking along, and Strummer had a big ghetto blaster on his shoulder. And I stopped the car and went, "Hello, Joe." He said, "Hello, Joe." I said, "What are you listening to, man?" He went, "The new Rolling Stones album, man. Still." And that was one of the most terrible moments of my life. I thought we were meant to get rid of all that shit, but you lot were secretly inside nurturing some love for it.
I know. What do you listen to?
Me, then all I listened to was you lot changed my life, because the early '70s for me, because I'm a generation before you, aren't I? In fact, some people think that punk was the revenge of the hippies. You know, we'd gone through all that wonderful '60s stuff, and then the early '70s to me was utter shite.
Yeah.
And it needed something, which was you. But you lot, you were very quiet about that. Although the very first time I saw you, can you remember what you were wearing when you played the Lesser Free Trade Hall in Manchester?
The first time? Is that the first
very
one?
First time.
Is that the one? Let's fill people in who you are. There's a lot of people who are listening probably have no idea who you are.
They haven't at all. I'm a local TV presenter in Manchester, or I was until I used the same two words that you used in '76, about a year ago, and got fired as well. I'm a local TV presenter who happened to put a lot of bands, including the Pistols, on television for the first time. It's my privilege. And I run a record company called Factory Records for several years, and had bands like Joy Division and the Happy Mondays. And I now have a band called Raw Tea.
And there was a movie about you?
There was a movie about me.
24-hour party people?
Yes.
You hate that, don't you? You hate it as much as I hate Sid and Nancy. I can tell.
No, I actually loved the movie. Actually, very strange. I expected to hate it. I absolutely loved it. I loved the fact that it was a collection of complete lies, that I never got gobbled in the back of a van by those two prostitutes. All those things were all made up. But the movie somehow... Because film people, like Sid and Nancy, film people... When they touch music, they usually screw up, don't they? Film people don't understand the music industry. So for once, they got it right. For some strange way, by being completely ignoring documentary. And it worked. I mean, I was very proud of 24 Hour. And I'm very proud of the impact it's had in America. It wasn't a big hit in the cinemas, but the DVD sold very, very well. So
you've got to be flattered that you was acknowledged like that.
I'm extremely, extremely flattered. I'm very pleased that the second scene is the central moment to me in the whole thing, is when you lot, the four of you, jump on that stage in Manchester, and there's 35 people, and in that small audience that first day, which was June the 4th, 1976, July the 20th, when you came back, there was about 2,000 people. But that first day, I think two of the members of Joy Division, I think Barney and Hooky were in the audience, I was in the audience, Gretton was in the audience, Morrissey was in the audience, a little red-headed arse called Hucknall was in the audience, and Marky Smith was in the audience. Everybody who went on to make Manchester music and take it forward was there that day, just being utterly stunned by you. And one of the true thing, I had a row with them when I saw the first cut. They have us pogoing at that gig, and of course at that gig, the pogo hadn't been invented.
Right.
And I always say what we did was we all sat in our chairs. It was in chairs with our mouths open in complete shock. We hadn't seen anything like this in our lives. We were utterly amazed. And I had no idea what you were doing until the seventh number you did Stepping Stone by the Monkees.
And you remembered that song?
Well, I knew the song. And to hear the Sex Pistols do this, do that, was just, it explained everything.
And I'm a Boston fan.
And you're a Boston fan. And also that day, the point of this is, I always tell people, listen, I saw the Pistols so early, Jones was still wearing a jumpsuit and doing Pete Townsend impersonations. Do you remember that? You were twirling your arm. Pure Pete Townsend.
Yeah. Well, he was a big fan of the Who.
Exactly. But 1 month later, you were telling the world hippies must die.
Yeah.
Kill all hippies.
It's all too confusing.
To me, it's very specific. Early June, you were still wearing a jumpsuit and doing Townsend. Late July, kill the hippies. We're the revolution.
Yeah. Never trust a hippie.
Never trust a hippie.
But all these quotes that people claim that we are, like, oh, punks don't take drugs. We were a rock and roll band, the number one. You know what I mean? And we get up to rock and roll things.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. One of the main things to ask you about, if we go back to the Pistols, supposed to.
Let's do some breaks, because people are going like, what's the music? Too old, fast talking.
Bastards, yeah.
Let's play. Let's Fenty. This you might like this Bizarre Love Triangle. Take it away,
this
Mr.
is the
Shovel.
Australian bunch.
It's a bird singing on like acoustic.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, take it away, Shovel.
Every time I think of you, I get a shot right through it to a bottle.
Good stuff.
There's no problem with
Can't say shit.
Okay.
Can't say asshole.
Okay, beg your pardon.
I hit the dump button, but
Okay, good.
He's an amateur.
I know.
they're really uptight here.
No, I recently got fired because it was exactly the same. He used the word fucking twice, which caused all the trouble.
Yeah.
Although everyone thinks it was John that swore it wasn't.
No,
But
I'm the true punk.
I was reading the news mid-afternoon in the middle of children's programming about a year and a half ago, and we come on air, and there's two cameras in front of me, and neither one has a red light on, so I don't know which one I'm on. So my eyes are going. In the end, we get through it, and then we come back to me.
It's a short one.
I go into this item. The item comes up, and I go, camera one, where's your fucking red light? Turn your fucking red light on. Not only was camera one an idiot, the sound man had been off for 3 months and hadn't been told his mute button didn't work. So went out over children's ITV.
A 5. You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on Indie 103.1 with my guest Tony Wilson.